It's seeming like the races or the jockeys gone to scale, but the stipe he daren't declare the races won, because the favourites failed to finish and a roughie's gotten up, and the bookies had him 99 to 1. When they topped the Ridge of Cracker, common sense was in the van, and the favourite that they backed still out of sight. Seems the last time that they saw her, she was leading at the turn, and now it seems she'd not be in till night. Somehow a rumour had gotten round and all the punters had piled on, and the fix was on the Maiden, was the word, because they'd nobbled after runners and they guaranteed she'd win, and this scam would see a heap of dough transferred. She was bred for just this moment. She was out at needle point. She was by a horse that won a vast array. They spent a deal of money getting her genetics right, and ability was in her DNA. Well, they piled the money on her and they shortened up the odds, and even though the filly never won a race, no one ever saw her trialling, and they'd hidden all the times, but a misplaced trust can trump a knowledge base. Early on they backed an older horse, a stayer of some note, but was said he'd broken down and had gone lame. The truth is that they scratched him as not qualified to run, like the pony with the Russian-sounding name. As they loaded up the barrier and they shut the runners in with the gates all closed and ready for the dash, the owners and connections and the jockeys on the hill had one thought, and that of raking in the cash. The starter pulled the lever and the gates flew open wide, and the favourite jumped to lead a length or two, and the rest of them they followed as if half asleep at first, depending on, I guess, your point of view. The crowd was in a frenzy when they hit the further turn, everyone, that is, except the bookies clerk, no one thinking for a moment that the run would fizzle out if the juice they'd used to boost her didn't work. Then, somewhere on the turning, at the bottom of the course, the plans of mice and men going after glay. The favourite shot and can't run on, the jockey is confused, and what will it be the stewards have to say? Oh, there's bound to be an inquiry to see where fault may lie, and to settle any matters in dispute, but the smart money was paid out when the favourite had the lead, and the clever blokes absconded with the loot. And as for us that waited still to see the race result, with expectation standing once so tall, not just losing all our winnings, but most of what we had and more. But I guess we're just smug punters after all, and the blokes who wrote the headlines and the folks who read the news stuck blindly to the story that they'd heard, never thinking for a moment that the narrative was wrong as they went on spruiking falsehood undeterred. See, the way it was reported was all written in advance, and ne'er was there a photo in support. They all said the race was over and a record had been set, and they claimed the favourite won it in a trot. But all around the paddock where the horses took parade, and the circle where the bookies took their bets, were the wasted betting tickets, evidence of fortunes lost, of shattered lives and horrid feelings and regrets. And the blokes who read the papers, and the folks who watched the news, believing all they read and all they saw, they remain of the opinion that the Maiden won the Cup, in spite of facts that none there could ignore.